G'day guys. So we're back again, back with another Q&A episode for you. And this time we'll be covering our stock inlet location Raptor airbox. So to break it down, it's a twin pod filter airbox for the 2023 next gen Ford Ranger Raptor. And it collects its air from the standard inlet location on the fan shroud. So let's get into it and answer all of your questions. So to follow on, we've done this before, just the tips Q&A on our Raptor exhaust tip conversion, hey?
Yeah, that's right. So these two products have been one of our biggest sellers over the last, 6 months?
Yeah, since they came out.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of feedback. Yeah.
No, thank you.
So I guess this is the best way to sort of answer a whole bunch of questions that we've been getting, like via email, comments on YouTube. And we just started this series to sort of talk to you guys directly about what you can expect with these products. Or you might be seeing them for the first time and you've just typed this into YouTube.
Yeah, and on the note of the first time, if you haven't seen any of our other stuff and you're watching this, and you do have any questions about the exhaust tip, just go back through our catalog.
That's it.
Just the tips. Plus, there is miles more videos. We've got our Shop Raptor R&D development series underway at the moment. We kicked off originally with us doing installs and stuff.
Yeah, huge amount of install videos just to help with installation of our products.
So, yeah. All right, let's get into this.
All right, cool. So you touched on there that that's the standard inlet location, but it's also available in the snorkel fed as well.
Yeah, correct. So like you can see in front of you here, there's two different options. Stock inlet location, like I said, it gets the air from the standard position that the factory airbox gets. And this one, sorry if I touch your Mac, is the snorkel fed version. So that one has a silicone joiner on it. The snorkel connects to that. And the reason why that you'll see this part with the snorkel fed airbox is because the factory washer bottle sits underneath in behind the guard with this on the next gen Raptor. So to be able to run all the piping for the snorkel through and behind the guard, we've got to get rid of the washer bottle. So we make a laser cut item. It's fully TIG welded, powder coated in-house. It's primed and prepped, and we go through all the proper procedures to make sure, like everything that we powder coat, it's built to last. So yeah, that's the snorkel version. This is the stock inlet version.
Yeah, nice. So why, how did this whole idea come up? This is a twin filter. This is the only airbox in our range that has the two filters in the airbox.
Yep.
Why?
Because it's got two turbos, hey?
Yeah, so essentially both sides of the motor have an individual turbo. Each bank has a turbo. And what we noticed with the factory inlet design was that they were sharing an intake point. So it was essentially just a T-piece with both intake pipes meeting up to it and diverting air individually through those pipes.
So the singular airbox, the two turbos came up, shared it, so
yeah.
it's like splitting it, whereas this has much more airflow.
You'd imagine far superior efficiency.
Yep, I like it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yes, the flow path is a lot better.
Uninterrupted flow. We did use that in some of the marketing. Nice.
With the standard inlet location box, all you need to do is remove the factory cradle, the factory washer neck.
So I'll stop you there real quick. Factory cradle, this thing.
We've done a full replacement cradle, laser cut, folded out of stainless. It's also labelled because we run a different cradle from the snorkel airbox to the standard inlet location. So you get the standard inlet location cradle. It literally just unbolts with an 8mm head M6 bolt. We then offer another replacement M6 bolt. You put this cradle straight back in the factory position, replace the rubbers over from your factory cradle, which mount in our locating feet, which are machined out of aluminium and welded to the bottom of the box.
So that's these ones here.
Yeah, and once you place the rubbers back in, the only other thing, once this cradle is fitted to the upper rail, we also have the factory locating clip for one of the coolant hoses. So you literally just push it out of the factory cradle and it pops straight back in to our cradle.
So it utilises all the factory mounts, and anything that requires a mount is still there. So you don't have dangling cords and stuff like that, looms.
Exactly. And the other thing, I'm sure that you're probably going to ask us later, so sorry for answering your question
Literally
prematurely.
was about to bring it up.
Yeah.
But
may as well run through it now.
So the other thing that you'll see in the kit is this. That is a standard windscreen washer bottle replacement neck. So, like Morg said, so you can see the two cradles here. This one's a stock inlet location airbox. This is the snorkel airbox. They're very similar, but also ever so slightly different.
Yeah.
So what we found is we developed this airbox first because the snorkel and airbox kit is our bread and butter. That's our go-to. When we tried to put the snorkel airbox in the car to make the front panels up to it, the airbox was too far to the driver's side. We had to move it to the passenger side. And the other thing that we found was that we also had to bring it up.
To raise it up, yeah.
And by doing that,
sorry.
by doing that, we were running into issues, and that was the other thing. It was like a bit of an oversight on our behalf because we had developed that kit first, so we were using a car that had our replacement washer bottle in it. So we never had this, and it wasn't until we had completely finished like prototype 4.
Oh yeah, a fair few. Yeah.
We put it in the car, and a stock car with this, and we were like, fuck, that doesn't work.
Yeah, it was like the factory one is a good 30, 40 mil
It's
longer.
heaps longer, yeah.
And that it wasn't until we were testing on another standard car that we realised that that was a complete oversight on our behalf. So we shortened the cradle to raise the box up as well to give us more room and bring it closer to the passenger side. That way then too, the inlet didn't need to be on such a drastic angle because there is a lot of crazy angles for the inlet to match up and be as wide opening mouth as possible because these lines here, they all line up perfectly with the shroud on the radiator support, and we made sure that they weren't impeded by the aluminium, so all the airflow went straight past the shroud and directly into this intake.
So talk to me, like you touched on before that snorkel airboxes, that combo is your bread and butter, right?
Yep.
So this is the only model that we do that has the stock inlet location.
Correct.
So this is the first time you saw the market that sort of demanded a product without having a snorkel, right? It's like a bit of a different group.
Yeah, I mean, there's never really been in our history someone that wanted an airbox without a snorkel, hey?
No.
And I suppose, to think about it, that's probably because the Raptor is more of a tuner car than it is a four-wheel drive. Like, I feel like the guys that are buying Raptors are guys that have also had Mustangs and chrome bumper classics and stuff like that. They want a fun car that they can f*** around in on the weekend, but they also want their missus to be able to drop the kids off to school in it, sit in traffic, you know, and the Raptor is the perfect platform for that. It covers all of the bases.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's why this has become a thing, is because there are a lot of guys with Raptors that want to have fun. They want something cool to show their mates Saturday afternoon at a barbecue. They don't see the necessity for having a snorkel because they're not taking it for being.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the people that are buying these Raptors, like the standard inlet location box has become so bloody popular for us that it just shows that majority of these customers are just taking them out for a thrash on the weekend. Yeah. Generally not doing your heavy touring with lots of water crossings and stuff like that. Not saying we're not selling heaps of those, because to be honest, the amount of 5-inch snorkels and stuff going out the door with those is ridiculous.
That is true.
But it's almost like half and half.
Yeah, the amount of these
that's
that's selling, off the charts.
All right, do you want to just touch on the kit contents? You've already sort of done it, but I guess on the standard inlet location, because you don't have the washer bottle with it, you've got the replacement neck.
Yep.
You've got the bracket that sits on.
Yep.
The box itself.
Yep.
Anything else?
Something that wasn't mentioned with our filler neck, it pretty much replicates the standard house for the cap. So all you have to do when you fit this is just pop that clip of your blue cap off your factory snout, and then you just pop it back on.
Should we go get one? Do we have one?
I can go have geese.
Ask me a question while he's gone.
Can I have a work car?
Ask me something I want to answer.
Yeah, right. Look, let's do it. Why is there a price difference between the snorkel versus stock inlet? So, I mean, there is a price difference, but because you're not getting the snorkel. So I'll let you finish it though.
I mean, you can kind of see the difference in the amount of hours in the manufacturing. So, you know, to compare apples to apples, I can't believe I just said that. So stock inlet airbox, snorkel fed airbox. Obviously with the snorkel fed airbox, we've got a piece of 4-inch tube. Costs nothing. Weld it straight on, piece of piss, done, get it out the door, gone. The stock inlet airbox, there's so many different compounding angles. You've got the mounting tab, and all of these things have to line up so perfectly, because like Morg said, we spent so much time making sure that the plastic opening on top of the radiator support panel
It's lined up.
is so perfectly lined up so that way there was no interruption in your airflow. The amount of airflow that you're getting into the airbox is as much as you could possibly get based on the design of the factory housing.
Yep.
So you've got all the manual labor time in making this. You've got the laser cutting for all the parts, the folding.
Not to mention those little things.
You've got these as well.
Yeah.
Nothing?
I'd love to say we do, but I couldn't go diving through the bin.
Maybe we'll find one after the episode.
So I was actually involved with the process of those washer necks, and the product we use is actually
mate.
safe for engine temp, engine bay temps as well. That's not going to get brittle and crack. It's a good bit of replacement gear. That's high quality.
And
stuff.
those things, like, they might look, I don't want to say cheap, but it might be easy to pass them off. Like, it's a plastic 3D printed part, right?
I wish they were as cheap as as they can look.
But like everything that we make sure it's OE quality or better. So like you said, all of these things go into making sure that this product is something that will outlast your ownership of the vehicle. So
100%. A couple of comments that we've seen on YouTube videos in the past versus emails, so I'll just read a couple of them out. Jetman, what is it like for the longevity of the engine, factory sensors, fuel mixture, etc.?
I feel like the fuel mixture question is something so much better for someone like Jordan that has a really good technological understanding of how the factory ECU mapping and stuff works.
Yeah.
But to the best of my knowledge, and please forgive me if I'm wrong, because I'm sure that you'll make me aware of it. To the best of my knowledge, the Raptors are closed loop fueling or something like that, right? So
sounds good.
It sucks in air. It gives it fuel and timing to suit. It has parameters to work between a safe point and a dangerous point, and it makes sure that it fuels and times the engine within those parameters.
Yeah.
Is that your understanding of it as well?
As far as I understand from what we learned on the dyno, is that obviously these vehicles don't have an airflow meter.
Yep.
So they're run via a map sensor. So they base their tune essentially, or their fueling based upon the map sensor.
Which is
whatever boost pressure essentially, which is a lot like most tuner cars with Haltex and links installed in them.
The one sensor that it does have is air temp.
Yeah.
And so you'll see that in the bottom of the airbox here. So, and another thing like to note about the airboxes, and we've got some stuff we can show. We got Kevy to 3D model this.
Yeah.
And it is an exact replica of the plastic factory sensor, to the point where you remove the plastic sensor from the stock airbox, you put it in, and it even clips past a little tapered thing. Like it operates so as factory. It's it really gets my OCD going.
I mean, so yeah, when he said they're damaging factory sensors, all we're doing is increasing airflow. So the sensor is going to see a bit more air. That was the idea here, right?
Yeah, so that sensor is, as far as I'm aware, air temp.
Air temp, sorry.
If that reads cooler air, then that's going to tell the ECU. If it reads more air than the factory airbox because it's more efficient, that the ECU is going to find out about that as well. And because of the way the ECUs are set up, it's going to give it fuel and timing, or take fuel and timing to suit. So that way the engine operates safely.
Yeah. And that's what we found. If you go back to our dyno video, you'll find we did a lot of testing on the dyno with the snorkel airbox against a factory airbox, and there was essentially no change to the tune at all.
I don't know if we're going to cover it later, but like horsepower increase, like a lot of people are going to see this and go, oh, it's got 2 air filters and way more air. Surely there's got to be an increase in power. But again, going back to the ECU having safety parameters, you might be giving it more air, but without tuning it to suit the air, you're probably not going to see as much benefit from it as you otherwise would from a custom tune.
Because
like
it's
what we're
designed
doing
to run
with our
between
car.
these, and it's going to do
Exactly,
that. Yeah,
that's exactly right.
In that dyno video, we actually saw an increase of up almost 10 horsepower, but the moment that it started learning what was going on, the temperature, of the engine changed, started to get heat soaked.
Yeah, so
it
initial
sort of
change,
came
I
back
think,
down.
is like six to 8 horsepower.
Something like that,
Yeah,
So,
well, I actually said on that, let's talk about power figures, but essentially to answer Jetman's question,
yep.
this isn't going to damage
No,
anything.
no way.
No.
We would never manufacture something that we think would lead to a lawsuit.
Yeah, or engine or warranty issues, essentially. Yeah. Like the dual filters essentially are aiding serviceability. Like we've added way more surface area, like nearly 3 times the surface area of the factory filter.
So if anything,
service
your
life's extended.
Engine protection is
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
More surface area equals better engine protection, right?
Oof, yeah, I like it.
Einstein said it.
Danny Rex Knight. I like the modest approach. No bragging, And bullshitting, I'm kind of keen now. I bet they're XY though. So it's not really a question, more of a statement.
How much are they? Do you know?
Yeah.
How much? I should know. I think they're
I still don't know. I just buy parts for them.
Depending on when you're watching this video, because
I'm sure they're $19.50 retail.
that's for the stock inlet location.
Correct.
These I think are $15.50.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
but-
again, sorry.
No, well that's for the box only. So because keeping in mind that if you've got a snorkel fed, you obviously need the snorkel
Yeah,
kit,
yeah.
which comes with the washer bottle.
Yeah.
And they're
That's good to expand on that. You can't be a tight ass and buy this airbox.
no.
And buy a snorkel later.
Well, no, sorry, you can't buy that airbox thinking that you're going to save yourself $400 because you're going to run into dramas with the washer neck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. If you're never going to run a snorkel, you have to have this airbox.
Yeah.
And that's why it comes with all of the different bits and pieces to suit.
And two, on that note, if you're trying to do that, if you put that airbox in your car, you're also decreasing your wading depth. So it's about 150, 200 mil higher to the intake snout here
That's a really good
than it is
point.
on that,
Yeah,
and
that's a
that's
very
coming
good
into the inner guard where most of the water's going to end up getting flung
Splashing
up.
straight in anyway. Yeah.
So we definitely don't recommend that.
No. You know, most of our other airboxes and most other airboxes on the market are around the $1,000 to $1,200 mark.
Yeah.
This comes with way more things. It's been engineered to be an OEM replacement product. It comes with 3 times the amount of serviceability. Australian-made air filters. We use local manufacturers for the lid, the gasket.
Yeah. All the machine
Danny
parts.
in Brisbane for the machine parts. Like it's as Australian-made as it could possibly be.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's supporting local manufacturing. It's a way better product in our opinion than the factory one. And at the end of the day, when you're buying a $100,000 Raptor, it's not that big of a
2%, mate.
deal.
Yeah.
Not that big of a deal.
Yeah. But when you put it in perspective, like there's over 20 moving parts in these airboxes. There's over 8 machined parts. Keeping on top of stock for these has been a huge game changer for this workshop. Like these airboxes have brought so many challenges with them. And especially due to the demand, trying to stay on top of that has been our biggest challenge to date.
There's a question a bit further on, so like I'll put a pin in
can
that
touch
because
back
I like the 20 moving parts you just mentioned, but we have to revisit that. But look, just continuing on with the air filters, Cameron, can I get custom color air filters? You might have seen in another video, we went and saw the boys down in Melbourne, wasn't it?
Melbourne, yeah.
Yeah, installed a 5-inch snorkel airbox kit with custom coloured.
Yeah,
on the
blue
new
filters.
Promo Raptor. It's very cool, but they had blue filters, so we can get custom filter colours, can't we?
But you can't have blue.
Yeah, that's only
That
right.
was like-
copyright to another.
Yeah,
That was like a
that's just
real
right.
one of one, like cherry on top gift to show our appreciation to the guys at Nava for working with them. Blue is a colour that Unifilter makes, however, it's something that's very close to my heart to not supply that to anyone else. So we can do red, yellow, green, and black.
Which are available on the website.
100%.
They can sort of attract a longer waiting time though as well. So
They used to. We've got to the point now where we've ordered them. We've got them in stock upstairs.
God damn.
I shouldn't have told you that.
Yeah, now I'm going to have to order 500 more, right?
Sorry, mate.
Continuing on with the air filters, Macca 7491. Have you got any other filter options? I'm not a fan of Unifilter or any oiled foam filter, to be honest. Firstly, thanks for being honest. Finally,
Yeah,
Macca.
that's good. Yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys think about that?
The reason we use Unifilter, Australian company, made to order, made to our specifications, and I guess it's one of those things for me. You stick to what you know.
Yeah.
What I know from being a teenager and having dirt bikes is one of the first mods that you do. Put a Unifilter in it. They're fully serviceable. They're oilable, which means that you don't have to run them oiled. You get that option. You run the foam, you run a bit of oil on it. What that does, the dirt comes in the front of the airbox, sticks to the oil. Whenever you get to your service interval, or let's just say, for instance, if you've been out bush for a weekend and you get home and your filters are dirty, you put some cleaner on them, you hose them off, you re-oil them, they're good to go again. It's less waste, it's more sustainable for one, which we're big on here.
We've ended up going to Unifilter from other brands, and there was reasons for that. We've had previous brands of filters that we've used either have degraded over time, which meant they were a throwaway item. The quality and repeatability of Unifilter has given us a strong base to work with, so we never have to worry about faults with the filter when they come in stock. We know they're pre-oiled, they're fully serviceable. We sell the recharge kits online and they supply them to us.
Yeah.
And we just, as far as quality goes, we haven't found anything else on the market that's able to rival that, with the ability to offer us all the custom colors. The cages inside them are fully powder coated as well. It's just,
they won't rust.
yeah, just as far as a whole unit as a filter goes, we've had absolutely no dramas with the filters being oiled. A lot of our airboxes are for airflow meter cars.
Yeah, I mean, to expand on that, it probably doesn't matter in the Raptor because there isn't a mass airflow sensor. In other diesel four-wheel drives, they do have a mass airflow sensor. One thing that can be an issue is that when the filter is too oily, that oil can then get into the sensor and it can
just contaminate
it, change the way the sensor reads.
Yeah.
It's not a problem in the Raptor. It's not a problem if you use the correct amount of oil. Like people definitely do over oil them.
Yeah.
But one thing I thought while you were talking then was the main reason why we don't use paper filters, and the weather helped me out here, is for water.
Yeah.
It's no secret that stainless snorkels suck water in. You're driving down the highway, you got a big pipe on the side of your car, the water hits it. As you travel into the wind pushes the water up, and then when it gets to the top, it sucks it back down. We combat this by running a reverse V-shaped O-ring around the top. So as the water comes up, it comes up the V, and the wind pushes the majority of it off before it sucks it down. But if you think about what happens to paper towel, like let's just say, for instance, you spill a cup of water on your kitchen bench at home, you mop it up with paper towel's whacked. It's going in the bin. You use like a Chucks or like a foam sponge, you do that, you wring it out, you do that, you wring it out.
Yep.
Paper just doesn't handle water well, and four-wheel drives, and specifically four-wheel drives with stainless snorkels on them, are prone to ingress water driving in the highway.
Yeah.
So there's no point trying to hide about it. Everyone has it. Every brand of stainless snorkel ever has it. So to make sure that our product is as good as we can possibly offer you, we use a foam filter that we know is not going to fall apart the second it gets wet.
Yeah, nice.
That's probably the main reason, to be completely honest.
Yeah, okay. And to summarize, like you said, if it's one of the first things that you put on a dirt bike where they're in a dusty condition,
They've got to be fine for your 4B that might see the beach once every 6 months.
Nice. Awesome. Rob Metalworks, can you ship to the UK? I'll answer this one.
With Pitbull sunnies on,
What?
Mr. Worldwide.
Fucking hell.
Come on, mate.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yes, absolutely. We can ship worldwide.
Zach loves selling stuff
Hell
overseas.
yeah, dude. Yeah.
No, we actually really do. We
Yeah.
live for it.
Isle of
It
Man.
G's the whole team up when
Yeah.
we get an overseas order. Hey,
Man, someone
Yeah.
from California bought a whole bunch of merch the other day.
Really?
Yeah, someone
That's
in
sick.
California wearing our shirts. It's super cool.
That is
We
cool.
are
Thank you.
super pumped to sell internationally. And look, it is a bit more, well, we're slowly upgrading the website to have shipping options available on the website. If it's not something that's there straight away, just send us an email. Dom or Jess will sort it out for you.
Yeah, the girls in the office are on it. They're
Yeah,
really good.
yeah. We're getting much quicker with that sort of, logistics, I guess. But Dubai, Isle of Man was a cool one for me, man.
you, yeah.
I can't believe that. Like, it's
Netherlands, Mexico.
Yeah, there's been a few.
Yeah.
so
it's
wherever you are,
France.
yes, we'll get it too. Hell
Antarctica?
Yeah,
Surely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
send it on a boat.
Yeah. Put it on the back of a seal.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This guy's username, I'm not going to say correctly. Crazy Mad Sec. Does this
a sharp
void
ending.
your warranty? So I guess we sort of touched on that earlier when we were talking about the sensors and
Yeah.
what we're doing.
The question about warranty is not an easy one to answer.
No.
What we do, especially if you've got new car warranty and you're the first owner of the vehicle, go back to the dealership that you bought the car from, show them our product, show them this video. Get them to tell you that you installing this product will not void your warranty. Heaps of people have done it before. So to give you an insight on what my understanding of warranty is, if you were to blow a turbo and you went back to Ford, because they'll do anything to get out of warranty.
Anyone will. It's
anyone.
not just Ford
Yeah.
specific.
No.
Yeah,
No,
just
yeah,
to be
any
clear.
Good
dealership.
point.
Yeah, just to be clear.
Sorry.
Yeah. No.
If you've blown a turbo, you go back and they go, man, that airbox caused it. That's their out. If you go back to Ford with a blown gearbox or a lifter, this valve spring, whatever problem they've got at the moment, there's no way that this caused that.
Yeah.
And what we spoke about with the safety parameters in the ECU, if any manufacturer can link a product that you've fitted to a fault, there's a pretty good chance they won't warrant it. But what we recommend is to go to the dealership, tell them what you want to buy, show them all of our stuff, get them to give us a call, I'll talk them through the product. I'm nearly sure that everyone we've ever had go to the dealership said it's fine. Don't even stress
I
it.
was going to say, out of like, what, 10 to 15 years of trade, 10 years, like, you know, on
I don't think I've ever had anyone say no.
Not a single one. Good point. So that's corol. And we touched on that with the exhaust as well, because you sold a set of exhausts to a lawyer.
Correct.
And he got them in writing, no dramas.
Yeah,
Well, it doesn't change the tune.
Yeah,
So the tune stays the same.
Yeah, if you've ever got any questions, go straight back to your dealership and get it straight from the horse's mouth.
Cool. So just to go back to what you were saying earlier, Morgs, about 20 moving parts. Like the next question is lead time. So this is something that we've struggled with since bringing these to market, and like there's no hiding that. The popularity was, we didn't see it.
No one did.
And everything that we're using, you know, they didn't see it either. So all of a sudden, Unifilter couldn't get us the filters fast enough. And talk about the other items, I guess, that are involved.
So like, I covered a lot of this in the snorkel airbox run through of the parts breakdown, but essentially the feeder machined, the IAT boss is machined. We have a reducer here that's machined to go down to the size of the inlet for the factory hose that goes to the driver's side turbo. All these parts are laser cut and folded out of aluminium. There's 2 filters, there's valves, the lids, the gaskets. A lot of these components come from separate suppliers, which all have different lead times and variability.
And which all are like us, small Australian businesses.
Companies, And so keeping on top of that, like with the demand we've had for these boxes, we have had to put a lot of strain on our suppliers to try keep up. And we are very appreciative of what they've done for us, especially like KJ Engineering, Pronto Sheet Metal, Unifilter,
Laser Drag, industrial seals and gaskets with the gasket.
They've just been able to
full credit to the boys.
Get us through this huge demand that we've had for these parts, and staying on top of inventory for these parts has been my waking nightmare. To be honest,
it's
just to try to keep everyone happy.
It's been. And I'm going to use the term, it's a good problem to have. So we're not whinging about it. We don't want to seem ungrateful. We are absolutely over the moon with the amount of support that we're getting from you guys. But the fact of the matter is, there's a fucking heap in it. And it's not only just us, like you said, there's half a dozen other small Australian-owned businesses. So
and we're constantly looking.
Together.
We're constantly looking to try and make this easier, and we're trying to get more stock whenever we can.
Stock on hand
So it's a problem that we're getting better. At the moment, it's just before Christmas 2023.
What is it? 4, 5, 6 weeks for an airbox.
So
you've waited, I guess 18 months for a car.
Whenever you're watching this, exactly. You've just waited 2 years for a car. Chill out.
Order your airbox when you order your car.
And you'll have it.
No, just kidding.
14 months early, man.
That's a really good idea.
That's a great idea.
But another thing as well, we've hired another full-time aluminium fabricator that's starting with us in the new year. So we can only there's 1 boy on these full-time. We can only make 3 a day. Well, that's going to change to 6. So our lead times are going to start dropping in the new year. We're getting on top of it. We are.
And that's, Tom must close his eyes and see
I'm sure he
Raptor
sees
airboxes.
Raptor
He
airboxes
hates me.
Lives for it.
Look, that's pretty much wraps up it on my side of things. Like a bunch of questions. Is there anything else that you think that we should mention on these?
Don't know. I feel like we've covered a whole
we've
bunch of it. Like they're a fantastic airbox.
They're a fucking good airbox. They're the best airbox that we've ever brought to market.
They look phenomenal in the engine bay. As far as a hop up part or something that looks great, they take the cake.
And they are a perfect match to our exhaust tips that are also available on our website.
Nice.
But look, I think that's covered it. So if you've got any questions, Zach will sort you out.
Comment below on this video and we'll do a bit of a follow-up, maybe just on our socials. Comment
below on what you want to see a Q&A on next. What other products that we offer across our range, or maybe a Q&A that we should do next is our Raptor exhaust. So, our car is away getting tuned at the moment. We've done the tips. We've done pre-production of the mid-pipe. We're going to be working on full-time production, bringing that product to market. We're going to be doing high flow downpipes, so that way it's a completely modular system. You can pick and choose what you want. So maybe that'll be the next.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
The next episode will be Q&A on our modular exhaust system for the Raptor. So keep your eyes peeled.
And subscribe to the channel. This is really hard.
And get your dad and your mum to subscribe.
Yeah.
And your brother.
And your dog.
Call your aunt. Yeah, and
The
your
more
dog.
the better. That would
Sign
be
them
awesome.
up. Nice one.
Cool.
Let's
Cheers.
go.
Thanks, boys.
Nice
Thanks.
one.
Oh, that was so good.
The timing. Yeah, that's it.